First and foremost, this video is for entertainment purposes and satire only. Everything in it is alleged. I wanted to start this video by mentioning the Texas southern border and everything that is going on down there in, Eagle Pass, El Paso. We're talking about all the way, west, heading to California, Yuma, basically our entire southern border. And many of us have been watching this kind of with eyes open, knowing that something about it doesn't feel right and it doesn't look right. Now, many of you have theories out there. Some people think it's all a psyop. Some people think this is all, a way to put us into a state of fear. Some people think this is all planned and orchestrated by the left. And of course, many of you guys have theories based on news that you get from the mainstream, as well as other creators like myself that have their own theories on what's going on based on what we have seen over the years, or maybe just our whole lifespan and being able to bring a little bit of clarity to the issue. If you talk to anybody who is past 40 years old, you will get a different perspective from somebody who is younger than 21. So we have a lot more insight to offer when you talk to somebody that's older. And one of the things that we will tell you is that nothing about this is normal. Nothing about how they're going about it. Nothing about how the current administration is reacting to this. And nothing about how safe this is for Americans, especially considering America is always and has always been a powerhouse country. It is a top dog country that many other countries would like to see disappear. But here's the thing. Many of you guys don't realize that they've had a Senate bill called the Enlist Act, led by Senator Tammy Duckworth, for a while now, that aims to make it easier for non-citizens, including people protected by DACA. Yeah, you remember DACA, D-A-C-A, DACA, that everybody was screaming about a couple years back. And she wants it to include those people to join the U.S. military. Her bill proposes allowing people who have lived in the U.S. for at least 5 years, regardless of their entry, meaning however they came, they are able to enlist in our military. It also includes those with temporary protected status and immigrant visa petitions. Temporary, people, temporary, not even, long term. They're not here long term, as long as they meet service qualifications. Now, you guys are wondering why. Why are they wanting this bill to pass? Well, let's talk about it. The goal is to address recruitment challenges, giving the military access to more qualified recruits, and to helping non-citizens become naturalized citizens through military service. This proposal that Senator Tammy Duckworth put forward has received bipartisan support, and it aims to fill the gap, faced by the military. I mean, while there's many different viewpoints on what should happen to people who come across the border, I think many of us can agree that people coming across the border are getting treated to a silver platter of all sorts of benefits. They're getting hotel stays, as we saw in New York City over the summer. They're getting food and phones and benefits, things that our regular U.S. citizens don't get. So I think many of us are really focusing on the disparities more so than anything between these immigrants coming and the people that are living here in the U.S. But if you have a military telling you we're having low recruitment and we're not really filling all of our needs, they're going to do this with or without your approval. When you go to the Army's website, for instance, you'll find out that, these things are still up there saying this is what they need. They need to be a U.S. citizen by the time you commission. But if you really read between the lines, you'd find out that there's so many little ways for these people to get through. And it sounds like the military itself, the Pentagon, Navy, you got your Army, Marines, all of these guys, Special Forces guys, there's not enough people. There's not enough people joining. And I think they're going to push this bill through. Now, being somebody that came to this country the legal way, all right, considering I didn't even need to really come here the legal way, because I am actually 20-something% Native American to the Americas. And I'm pretty sure my ancestors have lived here a pretty long time and were probably kicked off of this land. But that's neither here nor there. The fact that I came back to the United States, let's just say it that way, and I had to come through the regular avenue of getting a green card. And by the way, back then, when I was growing up in the 80s, this card was so insulting to even carry around because it actually said alien on it. Alien. Yes, like the little green guys. So for people to sit there and have these people break the law, come across our border, and expect a free handout when other people had to work the hard way, it kind of seems very similar to the idea of people saying they wanted a free college tuition debt paid off. Many of you guys would balk at that idea. You would say, hell no, we're not paying for other people when we had to pay for our college loans. So why is this any different? Because your U.S. government does not give a shit about you. Your U.S. government gives a shit about itself and making sure it can prop itself up as the strongest military in the world, as it has always been. And the mere fact that if you just read articles on what the defense leaders are saying about young people, they say it. They say these young people are too concerned with corporate living and getting higher education. They don't want to risk injury or death. No, they don't. And neither do all the senators and the congressmen and all the political leaders and rich celebrities. Do you think any of them will ever enlist their children in any of these military branches? I think not. So now let's talk about Trump. Donald Trump is using the recent increase in the illegal border crossing as a way to tap into his party's concerns about voter fraud. Before Iowa's caucuses, Donald Trump suggested that the Democrats are allowing these migrants, remember everything in this video is alleged, that the Democrats are allowing migrants to enter the country illegally to register them to vote in the 2024 election. Now, even though this is obviously an unproven claim, how many of you agree that that would be a very helpful tool to the military, as well as to the Democrats? It's a win-win. A tactic that they're using on the left is to allow these people in because when they say, now we're going to pass this bill that you guys are now automatic citizens. We've lowered the standards for you to enter into our military, and you are now American. Who do you think they will side with, and who do you think these illegal immigrants will vote for? Let's just face it. The U.S. immigration system, U.S. politics, knows what it needs to do in order to fill its purpose and its mission. And as I'm piecing this together, it makes perfect sense why they're accommodating them with so much for them to be able to stay comfortable until the time comes that they enlist them into the military. And this is probably the most important part that I think we need to understand, is this government knows what they're doing. I believe, this is my gut feeling, is once they've reached the numbers that they wanted, consider it 9, 10 million people coming in, then they will say, yes, we're ready to shut down the border. So this is playing out exactly the way they need it to. And I guarantee you, in whatever bill or whatever agreement they try to reach with the Republicans, the left will make sure in there it says that these people will have a pathway to citizenship through military, through doing certain things. And that will just make it easier for them to have those people as future Democratic voters. What do you guys think about this situation? And how do you think we're going to go about as Americans to fix this? Have a great day and remember to think for yourself.